Welcome, Leo, to your Scorpio full moon deep dive 2 week forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Each lunation has its own unique identity. We can talk about Scorpio full moons as being very intense, but I'm going to share on screen this event from a purely Leo perspective. I'm also going to show where all the other planetary influences provide a backdrop over the next fortnight. By the end of the video, you'll have a clear understanding of what's in store in terms of your energy, work, relationships, and finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. The moon in Scorpio is said to be in her full, FALL. So potentially one of the most vulnerable parts of her journey. The sign of Scorpio can be quite mysterious, but also very powerful. But for you on screen, Leo, you can see that she's right at the root of your chart. But your chart at the moment, apart from the South Node, has all the players in the Northern Hemisphere. So that moon tucked down there, pretty well on her own, I feel is very significant because so much is going on in terms of how you connect to the wider world. It's very exciting and it definitely has huge potential, but how does it all feel? And that's what the moon is asking you to consider, because when we have a full moon, the moon and the sun are in competition. They're not on great terms. And that's why we get such a great deal of emotion come into the surface. But for you, the emotion is right down at the root of your situation. So it may be things that are buried away could come up and be aroused over this next 2 weeks. But we need to look at the planets that are linking to the position of the moon most closely, and it is Pluto in the part of your chart to do with relationships. Now, through to 243, 244, whilst Pluto makes his way through the sign of Aquarius, big changes are coming in this area. And they can empower you. You know, you will end that journey so much more aware. But that square between Pluto, the ruler, the higher octave ruler of Scorpio, and the moon suggests that if a relationship in your world is out of kilter, that can be magnified. But we do have the North Node in a very sweet link with the position of the moon. And that's saying to you, if you tune deep down into your senses and you're guided by your instincts, your inner voice, it will help you to navigate this next fortnight. Because, Leo, the sun at the moment for you is right at the top of your chart, pushing you into the limelight, asking you to seize a golden prize. And all these players in the sign of Aries, which shares your fire triplicity, are very much about expansion, apart from perhaps Saturn, which is just saying, be careful how you expand. But what we also have recently is this energy emerging in the sign of Gemini, which is very much to do with your connections, but it can also be to do with higher truths. And the 11th house, where Uranus is also about your long-term plan. So something around a business, financial, professional, or personal relationship isn't quite feeling right. You're not getting the support and encouragement and nurture from someone that you're closely aligned to. That can seem quite stark over the next couple of weeks. But there are some tremendous opportunities because Venus, the planet of relating, is actually in a very strong link with Pluto. So if there is some kind of change in the works, and it may be around your job, you could find yourself working with people that you're much more aligned to. But Pluto can trigger ends and beginnings for sure. But we also have Mercury, the planet of communication, in a part of your chart, which is great for travel, doing courses, becoming much more knowledgeable, but that's in a link with Chiron. So if you come to some essential truth over the next couple of weeks, even if it does mean separating from something that isn't working, leaving a job that you're no longer enjoying, or perhaps becoming more conscious of a not as supportive as ideal relationship, at least you will have the clarity. You will know where you stand. Just one other aspect to tell you about is that the position of Mars, very much to do with thrust and adventure, free now of the cloying energies of Neptune and the restrictive vibe of Saturn, that's in a square with Jupiter. So whatever you're trying to do at the moment, your enthusiasm can be strong, but you do need to stay mindful, just like the North Node, about how it feels with Jupiter in that watery Cancer. Now, I'm going to summarize those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. But just to say, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscopes. You can now get three for the price of one. The life roadmap which you buy helps us to understand the journey that we've had so far and the patterns that are played out. Get more comfortable and familiar with them to help us future forwards. Free is your 12 months transit forecast, but also your karmic draconic analysis. Please see below for more. Why? Well, I realise that people are feeling the pinch with energy prices particularly, but also I want to share the love. Astrology is something that's had a profound impact on my life since I was 14. And I do feel that understanding our natal chart can help us to make much better decisions. Now, if you've yet to watch your May monthly forecast, Leo, that's on the screen. If you've yet to watch your Uranus into Gemini 1 year forecast, that's on the screen. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it would be a pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope, fire to your device each morning. Do take advantage of it, and then you can have your early morning celestial pit stop. Right, that's summary for you. So this is a time with the sun in your 10th house that your career and goals and ambitions are very much in focus. The moon asks you not to ignore your emotional needs, but also it does ask you to check that the people around you are supportive of what you're doing. But that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't continue to do it if they're not. The energy of Pluto, which forges a T-square between the sun and the moon, suggests that some relationships can be very supercharged, particularly if they're in a state of change. And any kind of power battle may play out professionally or in a personal relationship. But if you are breaking free or starting fresh, or you'd like to meet someone new, the glittering energy of Venus in its link to Pluto suggests that if you do get talking to someone over the next 2 weeks, it can have a major impact on you. And if your relationship is going well, the link between Venus and Saturn is very stable. But I think just finding that midpoint between work-life balance, which is such a challenge for all of us these days, is really the central theme of this particular lunation. But when it comes to your energy, well, it's true that Saturn is in that ninth house. So whatever you're doing, you just need to make sure that you're not overdoing it. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great Scorpio full moon and look forward to seeing you again soon.